Hello students, welcome back to my channel. This is Anamika Talukdar. Hope you all are fine and going through the videos. In the last video, I started lesson 2 from democratic politics. That is, what is democracy, why democracy. I hope the first feature and the definition of democracy is clear to you. I told you that we should think beyond the meaning which is going on from a long time. We should think beyond that. What is the meaning of democracy? We should apply it in our own lives. And then we also discuss about the first feature, that in the true sense, if we have to see what democracy looks like, then we also need to see how are the features going on, if it is working properly or not in a country to be called as a democratic form of government. Okay, so the first feature of democracy, we got that in a democracy, the final decision making power must rest with those who are elected by people. That means the common people, the citizen, us. So in a democracy, it will the first feature will be fulfilled only when there is free and fair election and the representatives are elected by us, and which did not happen in Pakistan. I think it is clear to you. I told you in the last video that Parvez Musharraf, how was his rule, then he became the president, elections were there conducted, but the elections were not free and fair. The representatives who were conducted who were elected in the election, those had nominal powers. Parvez Musharraf and army officers, they had the final power, but they were not elected directly by people. The referendum which he held, we know that was a corrupted one, that was based on illegal practices, so he was not elected by people. And he had the final power, so they did not fulfill the first feature of democracy. Now we are going to the second feature of democracy. So the next example is from the country China. In China, elections are regularly held every after 5 years. And elections are held for electing country's parliament, that is National People's Congress. And National People's Congress has nearly 3,000 members from all over the China. And some members are also elected by armies. So here you can see the powers of army electing the members, electing some of the members of the party who appoints. Now this National People's Congress appoints. It has the power to appoint the president of the country. So we could see the powers of army here, and then the candidates or the parties contesting in the election. Now what is the meaning of contest? Contesting meaning is standing or competing with other parties in the election. So these candidates or the parties contesting the election, they need approval or they have to take permission from a main party, that is Chinese Communist Party. Even government is also formed in China by this Chinese Communist Party. So the candidates who stands in the election, who contest the election, they needs to take the permission of the Chinese Communist Party. Or there are some other parties, that means there are 8 smaller parties which are allied to Chinese Communist Party. Like this is main Chinese Communist Party, and there are smaller 8 allied parties, connected parties which are connected to the main party. So candidate who contest in the election, they need to take permission of the Chinese Communist Party or other connected parties which are connected to this main party. So the candidates are not free to contest the election. And we know that if it's a democratic form of government or any form of government, I said you that any form of government having election cannot be said as democratic form of government. But where there is election, we think that is a democratic form of government. But we can see even in China also elections are regularly held. But the people, those who contest in the election, they needs to take the approval of another party. That should not happen. A party or a candidate doesn't need the permission or approval from any party or any person or government to contest in the election. You will get in another chapter that there are a few criteria if a person or candidate wants to become candidate or wants to be nominated as candidate, then there are some criteria to be filled. Otherwise, permission is not required from the government. And even in China, the government is also formed by Chinese Communist Party. So here you can see that elections are held regularly after 5 years of time. But these elections are not held in a free way. Okay, so the next country is Mexico, a country from North America. Mexico got its independence in 1930, and from that time it is having its elections every after 6 years. And this country has never been under the rule of military or dictator. Now we know that the country is having elections, and when there is election, that means there are parties, there are candidates contesting the election. But here what happens, until the year 2000, there was only one party, that was Institutional Revolutionary Party. Short form is PRI. Institutional Revolutionary Party was only winning the election until 2000. Now how can it happen when there is an election, when there are parties contesting the election, but only one party wins every election? And if it happens, that means we can think that there are other tricks or dirty tricks or illegal practices which was going on in the country by that party, and that's why it could win all the elections. And that only happened. In Mexico, as I said, elections used to go on, or elections are conducted, but there was only Institutional Revolutionary Party who was winning every election. Now how it could win every election? There were parties, there were other parties contesting election, there were competitors, but they never could win, because PRI, that is Institutional Revolutionary Party, used to take the help of corruption. What they used to do, they used to force the government employees to attend their public meetings. They used to force the government school teachers, to force the guardian, to force the parents to give vote for that party. And even media was also under the PRI, that is Institutional Revolutionary Party. Media never used to show any bad things or never used to criticize the party which was that PRI. It never used to criticize them, because media was under them, and media used to always criticize about the other parties, about the opponents, about the opposition parties. And I said the meaning of opposition, I think, in the example of China. Opposition means, if for example I'm the candidate and there are many candidates or many parties contesting the election along with me, then other parties will be my opposition parties, my opposite parties. So like that, there were parties contesting the election or who were the opposition or opponents of PRI, but they could never win. And media never used to criticize PRI, they used to criticize the other parties. So like that, public also used to think that PRI was a good party and they used to vote for that party. So like that, PRI was managing to win. Now you can understand that there was election in Mexico. It even became independent in 1930. And since then, elections were going on. But it was not a proper election. Elections were going on, but it was never based on free and fair election. So from both of these examples, we can understand that in China, elections are regularly held every after 5 years. People had choices, but those were not real choices. Ultimately, the Communist Party used to regulate, used to handle, used to supervise, and used to have control on all the parties or the candidates. And if we see the example of Mexico, even Mexico also used to have elections, but those elections were not based on free and fair practices. In Mexico also, there were parties and candidates, but who could never win against the party which was Institutional Revolutionary Party, because Institutional Revolutionary Party used illegal practices for winning the election. So from both of these examples, we can now get the second feature of democracy. So to be a democratic form of government, or to have elections in a democratic form of government, a democracy must fulfill this feature. And this is, a democracy must be based on free and fair election, where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. That means democracy must be based on free and fair election. We know elections are done like every after 5 years. Even in India also it is done every after 5 years, or every after a certain period of time elections are done or conducted. But this should be based on a free or fair practice. Elections, if these are unfair, that it will not be fulfilling the condition of democracy. And also, those who are currently in power should have a fair chance of losing. For example, I'm just giving example, okay? If in India, BJP, now the ruling party is BJP. So if they are not working properly and if we are not happy with them, then next election will change them. It should not be like they are using unfair practices and they are again winning it, even if we do not want. If the citizens do not want the party to win the election, then that party will have to lose. So that is the fair chance of losing. Now don't think that BJP is not working properly. I have just given the example. So the second feature of democracy, again I'm repeating, a democracy must be based on free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. So elections must be free and fair, and where the party who is ruling, if they are not working properly, not getting the vote from public, then they should have a fair chance of losing, and the opponent should have a fair chance of winning the election. Okay, so I think it's clear to you. Okay, so in the next video, I'll do the next feature of democracy. So I'm going a bit slow so that you can understand it properly. So for today, thank you very much.